That's how they're running the world. They're causing the wrong marriages. They are miserating good girls with horrible men. And they are miserating great guys with horrible women. They are putting people in marriages that are absolutely nonsensical. Literally a match made in hell. Good guys destroyed by bad girls and vice versa. So kimaswabi. It's locked in syndrome. So I told you guys that whole phenomenon, that story, to help you understand just what in the world happens to men and women in the world when they are civilians and not soldiers. You only know that you're miserable in your marriage. You only know that there was someone with whom you were spawning for a season. You were out here ogling at each other, but you kind of walked right by each other. Walk out by each other of that was orchestrated. It was planned. You were at that stage dating someone you wanted to leave, bring back lost lover or whatever. And then on this end, a guy out here meeting a woman that he feels he's kindred spirits with, asks his friend about her, and the friend deliberately keeps mum about it. I don't know what this dude told his boy when his boy was always like, what's going on with Karabo? He probably was like, she's got a boyfriend. Or if he was super malicious, it's potentially true that he didn't even tell me what. Basically, maybe this guy was like, can you please talk to Karabo for me? I'll tell you why I say this. Let me finally get to that place, okay? That guy was such a lost thought. Like he was we just so much. Like there was just so nothing to it. Whatever was going on between us, it was so elusive, vapid. It was so vaporous. The thing that could have been between us, that I am not hung up on it at all. Like there was nothing in me that was thinking, he's the one who got away. I wish I didn't pass him shade. Nothing. Like I never thought anything of that dude other than the fact that on 2 occasions he said I was pretty. Guys say a woman is beautiful. They don't gotta mean anything about trying to get with them at all. So much so that I never ever thought that he could have ever been a potential sweetheart, even in the slightest. Like it was just a dude that I happened to learn liked me, that I also thought was super cute. But that's it. That's literally it. I did not labor on this thing. It was the Holy Spirit that made me labor on him. It was God that kept on bringing that guy's name at the top of my head. And I was like, yeah, guys, as in, let me explain to you how bad this has been. I would be like working out. Back when I was working out. This thing in Zayn for like since like 10 years. Since I entered into this trauma. Libito like that guy, I get Libito Temba. Every so often I just keep getting flash visions of Utemba. Like literally for years. Since I lost everything. Since I lost everything. I'd be working out and in the middle of my workout, and guys, so you can understand already, Libito la Temba ne. Temba is a common name. Temba's like Karabo. Temba's like Lerato. Temba's like Jabu. Yeah. But when your name is let's say give me a foreigner's name. Give me a strange foreigner's name. Like Ikamanje. Like there is a woman that I met whose name was Sandrina. Yeah. I mean, yo, if you keep on hearing, so her name was Sandrina. This woman was literally for real. I met a woman by the name of Sandrina. I've never heard that name in my life. It's giving South African mom. It's giving parents out to be calling a child matric certificate. Just one of those weird names that are like rabbits out of a hat. You don't know how a parent could have ever come up with that, because there is no way there's anybody that they've ever known that's ever had that name. Okay? Imagine now, you meet a woman, Njefela, walking at the mall by the name of Sandrina, and you have a 5-minute conversation. And then you keep bumping into Sandrina at the mall because she works at the kiosk where they sell perfumes. And every time she sees you, she's like, hi, Karabo. And then you go up to her and say, hi, what's your name again? Oh, Sandrina. So what perfume can you show me today? And you have these infrequent occurrences with Sandrina, this chick with this kind of name, and she's the perfume lady at the mall. And then you see her like this for like 3 months, 4 times in 3 months, and then never again. And even those few times that you see her, you're having fluffy conversations that have no depth. You have no feels for Sandrina. Nothing beyond the lady that works at the kiosk at the mall. And the thing that sticks out is her name is so unique. Her name is so different that you've literally never met anybody, and will probably highly unlikely never meet anyone ever again in your life that has that name. Nobody ever that has that name. That's you. Okay? Yeah, very well. After 3 years or 2 years, let's say 2 years. After 2 years, and you're doing your own thing, you're baking puff pastry in the kitchen, you're making a pie, and then you hear Sandrina, and then you see Sandrina being like, what do you call this? Like a business partner, like someone with whom you are baking cakes, and the two of y'all are opening this like big store, this big bakery, and it's like you and Sandrina, business partners, and you're doing really well, like really well. You get these like visions of you and Sandrina owning a baking empire. You've only ever known Sandrina in the capacity of selling perfumes at the kiosk at the mall, and you had brief fluffy conversations with her, and yet when you're busy making puff pastry, Sandrina's like poof, and you see her as a business partner baking. Then one day you are jogging in the street, and just as you are in the middle of a sweat, you see a vision and you hear the name Sandrina again, this very weird name that's unique to her only in this whole South Africa. And you see Sandrina driving behind you very slowly, cheering you on some, yeah, you're gonna make it to the Comrades Marathon, yeah friend, because she's there to monitor how well you're doing. So you discover, Uguti, Sandrina's supposed to be my best friend, with whom I'm gonna start a business, with whom I was supposed to start a baking business that would be very successful. That's the first vision. And then the second vision, Sandrina's like your biggest cheerleader, biggest mascot, like out here, go Karabo, 1 more kilometer friend, 1 more kilometer friend. 3 years ago, and you only had 4 conversations with her, very succinct ones, at the kiosk, and her name is hard to forget because it's the only person, she's the only human being in South Africa that has that name. And then as you are driving to school, you get yet another vision, and you hear the name of Sandrina again, and this time around, Sandrina's like congratulating you at your graduation, and she's in the like crowd, they're taking photos. That's my girl, yeah, she just got her degree, yeah, go Karabo, and you're like, yes, Lomuntu is in such milestone things in your life, and the thing that you are doing is sutured at that moment. The thing that you're doing in that very moment is sutured to how you'd be doing it in light of Sandrina. The thing that you are in that moment having the vision concerning is suited to exactly what it is, how it is that it would be if Sandrina was around. So you're going to school, and because you're en route to school, alright, you then see your graduation, and Sandrina's in the crowd out here taking photos on some, that's my girl. And then you get another, you're now like at the gynecologist, you've gotten married. You're at the gynae, and they're checking your stomach, like putting like, what do you call this thingy, my Bobby over there? Like that little scanning paraphernalia to check if the baby's healthy and what have you, and you're all excited, like the baby's heart is beating, and then boom, you get a vision in that moment as well of you asking Sandrina to be your godmother. Like literally everything that you are doing is linked to how Sandrina would be in your life if she was in your life, if it did not just end at you chatting at the perfume kiosk, if it didn't end with you just seeing her 4 times in over the 3-month period and thereafter like never seeing her again, but if the relationship lingered, Sandrina would have been a business partner, a best friend that is your best cheerleader. She would have been at your graduation, and she would have ended up the godmother of your children, like proper. When your fiance proposes marriage to you, your boyfriend proposes to become your husband, yes I will, yes Tamba. And then next thing, vision again, and you see Sandrina chilling there, teary-eyed behind you, carrying flowers as a maiden of honor, as your bridesmaid, or one of your bridesmaids, a maiden of honor. And you're like, Patong, I only met that lady at the kiosk once at Hlongwane selling perfumes. We spoke briefly. I remember her name was kind of weird. Baline, why give Mona in such important, big fat chunky life decisions, like life milestones? Godmother of my children, bridesmaid, maiden of honor, right? What do you call this? Mascot, biggest cheerleader of me wanting to run the Comrades Marathon. There at my graduation, taking photos and everything. And what was the other one? Business partner in my bakery. How is a woman that I only knew for 3 months, and even then, not like iteratively, just very briefly, sparsely scattered, okay? And I forcibly dragged myself to go and smell her perfumes because she was so sweet, and I remember her name was weird. How in the world under heaven is a woman that was that brief able to make such mention in my recollection of anything at all that's random, of like literally all these very many years down the line? That is the Spirit of God saying that person was not supposed to be something if fitlang fella to come and go, a vapor. You were supposed to linger around them for longer. So that was the Lord saying that you were supposed to linger around that person for longer. And upon having certain lengthy conversations, you are going to immediately come to discover that you are birds of a feather, peas in a pod, that you have a lot in common. You were gonna hit it off. You were gonna exchange numbers. You were gonna speak all day and all night on WhatsApp. You were then going to, as the years progressed and you guys became stronger friends, you were going to come to learn that you share similar interests, and so you were going to start a business together. You were going to, everything in your life, be in support of her and her be in support of you. And she was going to stick around all the way up until everybody dies, because she was even going to be the godmother of your children. She was going to be there at your wedding. She was going to be at the reception. She was going to do a little dance skit at the reception of your wedding to basically celebrate you and your husband coming together. She was going to tell a big joke at your reception. She was going to be the best friend you essentially never had. That's the Spirit of God saying, that's what happens when people are locked under. Do you understand? There are Sandrina and Karabo that cross paths for 5 seconds and then just brush shoulders. And one goes there and the other goes there. Because Sandrina has been locked up by some freak on the left, while Karabo has been locked up by some freak on the right. And so the two of them, okay, bye. Have a good day, you then. All the best in selling your perfume, sister. Goodbye. Pelenge like that. People that were supposed to be that much more important with each other. Like, I gave the example of Usendrina to help you understand ukuthi mina ngibombardwe kanjani about this guy. Lo muntu lona ongimdlule like nje first up braced shoulders. Rifetane nje fe. Nothing, not too much. We didn't talk other than kolifu and hello, goodbye at the gym. But the way ngimona ngakhona lo muntu, yes, like it guys. Shar. The way this Oki, Lotemba, Nimbona Nakona. First and foremost, I use the name Sandrina because igama lakhe li re. It's not like John or Jimmy. It's a unique name that is probably just his in all of South Africa. I'm sorry, like I don't think anybody else has that name. His name is very, very different. Okay, li different, li unique. Like I said, it's giving, you know, Labazali that I'll just be naming kids. Matric exemption. I'm sorry. His name. But I would have gotten over it. He had a funny name, I'm sorry. He had a funny name and I don't even know what it meant. The guy had a funny name. It was not native. It was not like Karabo or Toriso. It was obviously an English name or a non-Black South African name. Could have been French, Portuguese, I don't know, but he had a very unique name. Okay, so it wasn't Temba. It was Ladies Love, cool, unique name. It was a very, very, like I can't even come up with a name, Yab Munna, to help you understand, just to like closer to home, to bring this home. But I use Sandrina because I've actually met a woman by the name of Sandrina, and I thought that her name was very, very unique. Okay, types that thing. This guy had a very unique name, and that name of his keeps popping. And not only does the name of his keep popping for the past decade, I've also been seeing this guy in visions right next to whatever I'm at that particular juncture, that moment doing. Linked to basically grander, like attachment to him in that particular capacity. And a lot of times when I was working out, I remember there was a day when I was working back like a couple of months ago, I was working out. You know how I danced to work out? I literally saw him and I working out, really two, both dancing. That guy Naeza, he was a weightlifter. I wouldn't imagine him to be well, maybe he was, I don't know, all right, a dancer or whatever, but I would I don't know, I could say maybe he liked dance, I don't know, but I certainly wasn't dancing to work out type setup thing. And I would see a flash vision of us basically working out together, like dancing, really too. And I would be like, why him? There's so many other like guys that I nearly was with that were much closer to home than that guy, that I actually spoke for more than 5 seconds with, but things sort of kind of fell through the cracks, to whom I was the one who got away. Why him? That guy keeps on getting highlighted like time and time and time and time again. And then in some of these little visions that I get, only a severity of like depression, and there's a lot of anger in him. He has a severity of depression, like anger, like he's very, very upset. I don't know if he's ever since then married. There's no way that he didn't get married, okay? Like men like those don't stay single type establishment thing. So he probably did grab a wife, I don't know, has a couple of kids by today or whatnot type establishment thing. But I see this guy sometimes watching my content. Whenever he will finally happen upon it, I don't think he watches me today, but by the time he watches my content, there's going to be a severity of anger, irritation. That's why this thing is going to result with people saying Labantu are abusive. They are abusive and ridiculous against fellow souls, because by saying there's going to be mob justice. I told you, people are facing vigilante justice They're gonna take matters into their own hands. They're gonna say, you took this from me, you took that from me. And I see this guy just seething with anger at Thomas. I gave him the name Temba. Like to the point of even throwing things on the wall. On some Lomutlona lied. I asked her, and he told me. Like, I don't know what in the world happened over there. But what is this? Thomas was probably asked. And then he was like, I'll ask her if she's prepared to concede with you where her boyfriend is concerned. And then he probably went back to him and said, Karabo. I spoke to her. She was like, she's too in love with that guy. She's like, she wants to know, she like her whole body, mind, soul, and spirit is in there. And she's not prepared to do anything to hurt her boyfriend. So I'm sorry, boy. He was prepared to tell. He told Ulontuza that. He told Utemba that. Only for him to try and get with me. I'm telling you all that. Story Sega Temba. And how it is that God keeps on showing me Temba and I in very, like, little flash visions of just a very, like, happy, however, quite earthly relationship. Like, worldly. Like, happy, but in a very worldly sense. Like, the way that worldly people are in love. The way that worldly people are happy, the way that worldly people get married, fornication basically before marriage, and doing things apart from God, just having a lot of fun together but without Jesus. So, which is why I say, I don't know what would have happened between Temba and I gave my life to God, but I don't know if he would have been interested in my God. So, God does everything for a reason, but I am out here trying to appeal to men like Temba and women like Temba or me, alright? That it does nothing for you to maintain yourself as a civilian because the people that you keep as friends, ever, yeah. You are being stolen from. And the people who are suffering from locked-in syndrome, which I suffered from when I was in the world, but I got set free, and that Temba suffered from, and probably still, I mean, from what the Lord showed me, by the time he finds my content, he's still going to be locked in, or maybe he's going to be waking up only at that juncture. So all along he's been lost, okay, yet to find Christ. So Temba was locked in. Who locked him in? Who locked me in? And who locked Temba? And listen, Temba was not the only person that was prevented from making inroads in my life. There was another dude that I actively was speaking with. We were flirting. I was broken up with my ex during that season. I ended up getting back with my ex because this dude passed me. He liked me. I made him add a bri. We exchanged notes. And then within a day or two, he started to pass me shade. You would think when a man has held you hostage with Pegamina Pela or no one else will ever love you, a dude will show initial interest in you. And then after 2 or 3 days, he will act awry. I've had a few incidents of that nature where a dude showed interest, went awry, and so I went back to my ex. Yeah. So I went back to my ex. That's locked in syndrome. That's, you see somebody that you are birds of a feather with. Like, there was a time when my ex-boyfriend, around the same time, that this guy that I met at a braai, and I were talking. My ex was trying to get back together with me. We'd broken up. I remember we hit it off well, but then it tapered down horribly in like a day. I got flowers delivered because my ex and I were broken up at the time. I got flowers delivered to me at the office. Karabo, come pick up flowers. I remember I was with one of my colleagues, and my colleague and that colleague was like, yo, your life, Karabo, is so exciting. You get delivered flowers. And I was also similarly excited because I thought that it was this guy because he knew that I worked for MTN. I thought it when he knew my surname because we were friends. We became friends on Facebook like immediately as soon as we connected on at the braai, right? This guy, what is this? I get flowers delivered, go reception. I fetch the flowers and I'm thinking it's him. This is life. The flowers that are now being delivered to me at the office are from, let's say his name was Lerato. They're from Lerato. I thought it was that guy. I thought it was the guy that I had a crush on, that I thought that could be the man. Proper, my ex was always on thin ice. My married colleague is like, yo, Karabo, your life is so exciting. And I'm thinking maybe it is exciting. I go and I collect these flowers. And when I see the letter, it says that from ex-boyfriend, whatever his name is, right? Let's say his name was Bobo. He's like, from Bobo. Joe. I rolled my eyes. I received flowers. My friend / colleague is like, your life is so exciting. And when I read this thing, hoping it's Lerato, when I read Bobo, I got disappointed. I was like, but I'm broken up with this Bobo guy. We're not getting back together. Why is Lerato acting awry on me? Because I like him. I'm prepared to Pumagubobo forever to be with Lerato. And Lerato slowly but surely disappeared. Because I used to work for MTN, ke ha ang senda an email one day, and I'm thinking, oh, he's back. And he's like, yeah, how you know I'm good? Do you by any chance have free tickets to the MTN match final between Chiefs and Pirates? I was so irritated. I was like, I like him, and he wants me to hook him up with tickets to the MTN 8 final because his boy that worked for MTN had quit. So his connection to getting freebies from MTN was gone. And then he figured, here, there's a chick that has a crush on me. Let me ask her. I was so annoyed. But that was at the stage of which I realized, it's not going to give. Nothing is going to give. But I wanted to get out of my ex's life. I wanted to leave. Missing Hambile, I ended up getting back together with him. Yeah, that's what locked in syndrome looks like. You will meet someone, you will get along, you will have chemistry, and you will want to start something, but there'll be some witch lana and some witch lana that are latching onto Lomuntu on the right, and then another one to this Muntu on the left. Their witchcraft will interconnect, and these two spirits, albeit being kindred spirits, will go their own separate ways. And very unfortunately, after 10 years, if you deal, they'll then bump into each other at the mall. Everybody's married, everybody's got 2.5 kids, and they'll start to realize, goodness, but it was always you. I really liked you. Why didn't we go out? That's the kind of stuff that adulterous affairs are made up of. When you've got 2.5 kids, who do those 2.5 kids belong to? They belong to the people here. The people who held them hostage, who put them in a locked-in state. They're married to them, and then you go and you meet Lerato in public one day after 10 years, and you now are having an adulterous affair, always booking into hotels. It could have been your marriage, but now it's an affair. That's what's going on, Galabantu. Yeah, that's what in the world is going on, Lana. So no, I'm sorry. I literally apologize. That's why they're trying to kill me. This here is an epidemic. So when I say that the Lord is conscripting soldiers because we're at war now, men have been made unable to take care of women that would have been their wives because they are now suffering in shacks at the backs of their mothers' houses, going nowhere, doing nothing. Umfazi that was supposed to be doted over and catered to, out here running around after 4 kids, was someone that she would have met early in her 20s, is being gazed upon by the same man married to someone else. And he's like, she was supposed to, I would have married her. Kanguti, I passed him up. He thinks I passed him up. I think he passed me up. I think I think he didn't share. I think he didn't speak, but he spoke to someone else that kept him locked in. And he's like, I'm here, from inside Umzimba, that looks catatonic and absent of a doctor coming here to diagnose. So men and women in the world, albeit not all being wicked into witchcraft, are sometimes just pawns for this wicked system. And they have caused, as a result of their complacency in not wearing on their full armor, in not becoming soldiers for the kingdom of God, in not praying for their own countries, they have caused an epidemic of war crimes being committed by satanic practitioners, occult practitioners. They Lontuza, unique name Temba now has to sit around watching some freak from the US try to rape me, some freak that works for my mom as a carpenter try to rape me, my ex-boyfriend try to rape me. He literally has to sit back with his hands tied because he's somebody else's husband today and watch even the freak that is his best friend try to rape me. Tried to kungena in my life, did not work. And there is a slew of all of these random dudes that are like, you're gonna take me and can. They are war criminals and they're raping women, and they've rounded up good men and put them as slaves, servants. Limited how far their scope is, limited how far their reach is. They even limit their finances. They cause their businesses to crash. People that aren't prepared to experiment with witchcraft are being made in Jefela to take in their stride a severity of losses. Because money and the strength therein, therefore, enables resourcefulness so as to facilitate rescue efforts. So when people don't have it, when people don't have connections, abakwazi ukuyorescue a situation, and so they keep connectedness out from the hands of, by worldly standards, good guys. They pocket global wealth. They amass it for themselves, and then they use that money that they have, those resources and those connections, to manipulate, harass, and abuse people that they want to force to do things that they don't want to do, given that they tend to get what they want from other people easily. Where it is that people are walking in resistance, where it is that people are saying no, that's when they use their resources to beleaguer them on all sides until they say yes. So basically they consider unregenerate people who aren't in a spiritual war as ones who are walking in least resistance. They are taking the path of least resistance, but the body of Christ are the ones that are taking them on. We're fighting them, and we're the ones that get sabotaged. They target us in ways that are eventually criminal. And so ubuthakathi babo bu unnecessary at this particular juncture, because they literally graduate to becoming actual criminals. They become igebengu labantu. They steal imali, they defraud ngempela, they sabotage in the back end ngempela. There is a paper trail traceable back to them. Those who are soldiers fighting their system, who are whistleblowers. Since we don't go down easily and lightly, bayasibulala. But you see, guys, y'all cannot afford, those of you that are civilians in these streets, you can't afford for me to die. You can't afford to let these people end me. You know why? Because they made you marry people that you did not sign up for. And they also cost you your business. They cost you relationships with both men and women that would have been important in your life milestones. Best friends you could have made, but that you merely walked right by. And men with whom you could have been madly in love with, and vice versa. But now today they're married to other people. Now today now today they are your guilty pleasure. You're having an adulterous affair with a man you were supposed to marry. Like, that is what in the world these people cause. So by standing back and doing nothing with my situation is like a reserve soldier after Hamas breaks into the kibbutz and the music festival on the 7th of October in 2023, and then says, I'm sorry, but like, what's it gotta do with me that Israel gotta go to war? It's your country. They're literally threatening the safety of your country. They are trying to eliminate your right to exist in your country. They have no regard for the fact that you own property and have children that are growing up here and have memories you have built here, and you would much rather maintain it as a going concern. But instead they're busy saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, evidencing that they want to get rid of all the Jews. It's a Holocaust in the making. So you can either sit there as a doctor and continue with your stethoscope to gauge the heartbeat of an infant, or you can go to war upon realizing that if you don't go to war, that infant won't even have a home in 5 days. Banthathela abafazi, banthathela abantwana benu abahle, banthathele impilo zenu ezinhle, banthathela ama-business enu nama-friendships are satisfactory. They have taken away from you meaning in life and put themselves in your lives to miserate you. If I ended up not Thomas because he bewitched me, I was going to be a miserable girlfriend, probably never become a wife. Even if I did become a wife, I was then going to be a miserable wife. He was then going to cheat on me in front of this guy that wanted me first. He was probably going to argue with his boy along the lines of Karabo, and you gunned for her, wamtata self, and yet look at how you're treating her. And the two of them were then going to fight over Indabayobuti. They have a difference of opinion as to how I should be treated. And then just in the same way that a parent who is very irresponsible with a child out here gets aggressive and defensive when called out for bad parenting practices by someone that is looking out for that kid, he would then be like, it's my child and I will make decisions over that kid. So that man will be like, it's my wife, I will decide what to do. But it would not have been your wife, it would have been his. But you're the one that not only spiritually manipulated a woman until she ended up your wife, and this man, you literally functioned as a barrier to entry to pursue her because ubuzile ngokarabo, and you said nothing. They are forcing people to marry badly. They are grabbing good girls and putting them with players. Amadoda are all over the show sleeping around in these streets. Men that are insincere. Men that are basically not in any position to steward righteous girls or wholesome women. And so they convert girls later on into these bitter broads that are in all of their anger. Do you understand? Insufferable, therefore. Phenomena, you're angry black woman. Look at how now today, as Karabo says, I literally don't want anything to do with black men, because the ones babaling in the occult, the ones that are manipulating things have so left a bad taste in my mouth that literally this skin tone gives me PTSD when I see it in a man. They have made themselves the prevalent theme, the reigning chaos in my mind, such that I can't anymore. They've done that to you, black men who aren't this ridiculous thing. They have literally gone and tarnished amakama enu, and the only reason why they've succeeded to do this to you black men who aren't quite what they are is because nilele, you are catatonic and comatose. You are chilling in your bodies and you are locked in and you can't speak to the wives of your youth because in Christ and funu God, you are secular. And so because you're secular, that are chilling in the occult. Now today, and this is the reason why I call this nonsense a state capture. It's literally like a hostile takeover, a state capture, a coup. It is some silly little force taking over the actual true government of a country, and it's therefore destroying the nation as we know it. The fabric of the very fabric of society as we know it is being decimated by these structures. Bayasimoshela sonke. And Tina Aishem Asbaningi Abazalwane. The road is narrow that leads to life and only a few people find it. So if Nakili Waneke Lwansa structure say Nabatonga Govina, Bang Patlakitoka Fete they want me in the ground. But listen, this is the reality. This is my msebenzi. It's what it is that I've been come here to I've been set apart to do. This is what the Lord has raised me up to do. Guys, that's the reason why Usomandla is calling me Balangrak. He's calling me important. Because do you not think Kuti Lenzinto Engi Dilangazo is important? I am literally raising in Dabayoguti. We are all under siege. And unless you take up arms and go to war, take up your military service, your civic duty, and fight, even if it'll end your life. You are supposed to live an ensconced life as a teacher and retire largely safe. Your profession is not a hazardous one. It is not high risk. Your insurance premiums are low, therefore. But when your country is declared war on, you gotta put down your teaching paraphernalia, your pencils, and your instructor's tools, and take up arms and fight for your country. Otherwise, Kausani, there'll be no children to teach. Tomorrow, there'll be no kids to teach in no schools. Kindergartens will be empty. There will probably be a merry-go-round going around in circles with no kids in it. That's what you're facing when, as civilians, you stay civilians. You have got to become soldiers. You have got to get saved and fight these monolithic structures, because absent of doing them, and letting them slip through the cracks. Daughters out here getting killed on the internet, through the internet. Indodagazi yako has committed suicide, doesn't know why. Satanic ritualist in Jefela from Ghana, from the US, has decided that your daughter must go in the ground. When you invested money in university tuition, you invested money in crash, food, you invested money in tutors, you invested in a child, only for Lomtana Lona Oglobulalwa nje Yinja Estratini that comes out of nowhere, that is a pervert, that's always masturbating outside of in like complete strangers' lives on the internet. Bese azohlangana nendodana ya nendodakazi yakho and decide ukuthi uzomthatha ngenkani. Makes himself fall in love with a woman that he's met on the internet. And when she doesn't want him, bese athi uzoshona. He's never set foot in your country. The guy in the US ukwahakal, and yet ufuna ukukhalisa umawam. Ufuna ukukhoza umngcwabo lakithi. He wants to cause a funeral kithi when he has never even set foot in South African soil. He was merely a pervert lurking on the internet. And now today, it's an epidemic of war crimes committed by Hamas. It's an epidemic of war crimes committed by men like Hamas. They just take what they want and they tell themselves, so it's fine, I'll father the baby. Who in the world wants to have around lurking in their ecosystem the baby daddy of their child that they got through rape? I mean, what rape victim that brings forth to term a baby that was conceived through rape keeps the baby daddy around? I mean, there was a bizarre case in the United States of America of some rapist wanting custody of his child because the woman kept the pregnancy. She did the right thing in the sight of God, but now she has to be subjugated to the tyranny of her rapist literally demanding custody of the child. They are arrogant that way. They're arrogant enough to basically demand things from you after destroying your life. So, they'll take care of me. Come and put a baby in my stomach, and then they'll pay maintenance and custody for it. Men who are like Nick Cannon, they've got 20 other children, and then they want to put a 21st child in my stomach and then claim they'll take care of it. You're my rapist. Why would I want to keep you around? Why would I want to keep you around whether or not I have a child with you? But that's the thing, they're arrogant. And they will literally terrorize their victims for life because they hold them hostage to something. And now I've got evidence of indaba ukuthi le frazoms yakhona kaneti bayetsa. I am not paranoid. I am not out here imaginative ukuthi bangenza dirty labantu laba. They are active war criminals and they are raping, committing crimes against humanity, anything la emgaqweni ezayo. And then me, I'm an activist against these indaba zenzayo. That's why they want me dead. I'm like Julia Roberts in the movie The Pelican Brief. They're trying to kill me before I speak. And then eventually I'm gonna live to tell the story, and I'm going to snatch whoever it is that I can snatch out and make them a soldier from the flames of hell. You cannot afford to be complacent and stand back. Labantu laba baya abusa wankutwa but let's take so. And happy the way that they abuse is physical. They don't merely abuse ngama spells, because ama spells wabo don't work on Christians, because they realize ukuthi death rituals don't work on Christians. They hire actual contract assassins because they realize that blocking career prospects don't work on Christians. They literally will pay all of corporate South Africa to ignore your phone call when you need to go for a job interview, because they realize that they can't block Christians from receiving love if the Lord has seen fit to give them love. So they will close ama-gates wakho ukuthi abantu bangakuboni, so they can tanda you. They will close you in so people can't see you, so people can love you. So mina, the lack of support, the lack of donations, the lack of camaraderie, the lack of it's not that no one cares to hearken to me or hear me or even have my back in support of me. It's that they've closed me in so badly that literally nobody can see me. They will put you in solitary confinement and then claim that no one loves you. How in the world is anybody going to show me any kind of love when I'm in solitary confinement? They've put me in solitary confinement, yeah, YouTube, and you can see it got the advanced features. That's one of the evidences. But I discovered the solitary confinement that they put me in, yeah, go TikTok too. Not TikTok, but what I wanted to say was ByteDance. Remember I told you that ByteDance was paid. Somebody there was paid. Basebeza. And I'm not really sure if the taking away of my advanced, not my advanced features, but some of my features and making them pro, I wasn't sure if it was done to everyone or just me. Remember I said I wasn't sure if it was done to everybody or just me. And I went on YouTube and I said that if I research, I'll probably find out the truth. You know, it's amazing. God leads us into all truth. God is amazing that way. Umpile evidence. Remember I said in yesterday, the video pretty much as most recent as this one, preceding this one. I said that Jesus Christ, what you might call it, that if at all, TikTok had made all of these changes on their platform and overnight so suddenly, a lot of people would be talking about how it is that they made features pro that were historically free, but it's eerily silent. It's strangely silent how nobody's talking about the fact that TikTok has, not TikTok, but ByteDance has made so many, CapCut has made so many features that used to be free pro. Yeah, well, honeys, I came to discover that they didn't make all of those features pro, just mine, only me, linked to this IP address of this cell phone device, and also linked to what you might call this, also linked to Baibitang, this thing, to my email, because I was signed in to my phone. I was signed in to the TikTok account, and because of me being signed in, ever since I got signed in, because all along I was operating on that account, go TikTok, this entire time I was operating logged off. I was using their application logged off. And then a few weeks after I logged in to TikTok, some of my features disappeared. They were able to identify who in the world is editing over here, such that now even when I log out, I still don't have access to the features. Even when I go into Google Play, and then and if I uninstall the application on my phone and then I go into Google Play and reinstall it, still nothing. Basically, it is linked to my Google Play email, and it is also linked to the email that I used to sign into TikTok. And through these two platforms, they then were able to link it back to my IP address, Yafonu. And I know that that's a thing because of the fact that, what do you call this? I'm trying to think, and now my brain is all scattered all over the show. It's linked to the IP address Yafonu because even when I log out now of TikTok, I still don't get my features back. I still don't get my features back. Do you understand what I'm saying? So essentially, what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that my Google Play email address, which is different from the email address that I used to log on to TikTok, that email address, those two email addresses, if I am on the application with any of these two email addresses, they lock me out of certain features. And now they also traced back the electronic signature to my device, knowing that I'm poor. I get it, they are watching me, they're surveilling me. They know that I can't just buy another phone. They know that I don't have another device. So if I were to buy another phone and use a foreign email address that they don't know, they wouldn't know that I'm the person editing on that platform. They wouldn't know that it's me. So they have linked it to my email addresses and my IP, trusting that I will not have another phone to use. They took away my makeup features, and they even took away my doll. The doll, the one animated for Jesus that I use, which is a cartoon on TikTok. It does not attach, it does not add, it does not land on the face. Like I could click, I explained this in my other videos. I could click on all the other role images, like the one doll, the one young person, the one aged, the one soft glam. I can click on all of them and they will attach on my face. but the 1 year cartoon, you're not really one, does not attach. And I'm gonna show you the proof just now. I'm not just speaking. It does not attach, right? They did that to me based on my IP address. So basically, for as long as I'm still editing on CapCut on my Android device, I will never ever be able to utilize the feature that is the doll. But God is amazing. He gave me money through a donation. So therefore, I don't need CapCut. I don't need ByteDance. They are paying people money. Like, not people, sorry, they are bribable. The individuals, there are people there that are literally allowing themselves to do this to human beings. They're trying to give the optical illusion of me having no one that loves me and everything falling apart because witchcraft is doing it. But this is not witchcraft. I'm too prayerful. I literally slap demons out the room. So this is not demonic. This is human sabotage. It's individual crazy person clicking an individual crazy freaking button. It's people that are supplementing their witchcraft with actual sabotage. Let's talk about my iPhone now. Let us talk about my iPhone, okay? I went to Chinatown to get my iPhone redid. Amen. They changed the battery, and that's the phone that I'm recording from now. But going forward, I don't think I'm going to record on my iPhone because it just gives me all these glitches and issues and yeah, whatnot. I've got a perfect makeup video editing application that will add the makeup that I presently have right now for free on YouCam. The YouCam on iPhone, the YouCam makeup app on iPhone is perfect. It doesn't fall off the face. Anyway, whatever. So that's why I can have makeup while I'm recording. But I really don't need to have this a thing. I can always just utilize the app that I have over here to edit. Okay, cool beans and bananas. So we did the experimentation, but going forward, we're always going to record on the Android because it's easier. Okay, yeah, whatnot. But let me tell you what happened on my iPhone, you guys. Hey, Batung. I get my iPhone. Yesterday, I'm out here like, trudging through the streets. I had forgotten how to upload content. There is a feature that I used to use to transport content from my iPhone to my Mac, and it's like out here glitching and twitching and not working. I don't know if it's because of a software upgrade or whatnot, but it's just been really rough. But I finally have what is this, defaulted now to AirDrop, right? So I use AirDrop now to do what I need to do. AirDrop is this application that enables you to transfer. I don't need to explain what AirDrop is to you. I speak to you guys like you don't know technology. Anyway, yeah, after I figured out that I can actually move content from my Mac to my phone and vice versa and whatnot, it took me a whole day, not so much to figure it out, but to get the settings right so that I can do that, right? I don't know how many times I had to reset my phone. It was just disastrous. But my iPhone is now finally doing what I needed to do. It's beautiful. I love it. It's charging, and however, it's kind of lagging, but it's cool because, you know, it works. Like, hello, we're blessed. Yeah, that's what's good. Okay, so we are happy to have our iPhone back, but we did not expect to happen upon new discoveries using my iPhone. I just wanted my iPhone so I could buy YouCam makeup, so I could use their cartoon feature in order to do my animated section, because their AI enhance, the YouCam AI makeup editor has got features on iOS that don't exist on Android. So for those reasons, I wanted to buy the YouCam makeup for iOS in order for me to get my animation did. I already spoke about that the other day, so I'm not going to labor on it. I download the YouCam makeup app, and I'm still going to buy it. I'm still experimenting right now, right? And that's not the thing actually that actually caught me off guard. Like, I mean, yeah, the app works. It's all good in the hood. But then I also make a decision, because you see, I was only going to use my iPhone to edit makeup, not makeup, sorry, but I was going to use it just for animation, to edit my animation on my iPhone, while my other edits were going to be here on my Android device. Yeah, that was my decision. Okay, that's what I was going to do. You guys, are you keenly listening and keeping your ears on the ground? But then, because yesterday, man, stuff took time. My mom asked me to do something, and so I needed her to transfer money into my account, and so it delayed me buying the app, right? And so therefore I couldn't add the makeup, and I was therefore frustrated with having to use CapCut again. So, and also I was frustrated with trying to export content from my Mac to my phone, because in the beginning of teething with this reinvigorated phone, with this defibrillated phone, I was having issues even exporting content from my Mac to my phone so I could edit it. And so I finally succeed to move stuff over, and it was as simple as AirDrop. But even AirDrop didn't want to work in the beginning. I think I needed to charge my phone to the nth degree because of something, I don't know, whatever. But I finally prospered to do stuff I wanted to do. Now I make a decision when I'm on the App Store, because on the App Store I went and I got YouCam Perfect first, YouCam AI Enhancer first, the makeup app, yeah, YouCam Perfect, to add the doll avatar. Yeah, I went there first. But then, I kept on scrolling down because I'm a curious mind, and also I'm very creative. I like to see what apps do. So I keep scrolling. So something tells me download CapCut on here too. So as to, if you can't work on your Android device, you can work on your Apple, because you want to post content every single day. And so if you've got two devices in operation, it'll, half the time. You'll do your stuff in half the time. Whatever's happening here is you're going to be doing something different there, and you're also going to be doing something different on your computer. So I told myself that download all the applications that you already have on your Android device. Download them on your Apple device so as to multitask. So some days you will record your videos from your Apple phone, which I'm doing today. Other days you will record from your Android phone. The quality might vary, but really I'm a talking head content creator. So for those reasons, what's important is what's coming out of my mouth more than it is actually the actual video quality. But I do believe that iOS has much better quality videos in total. Anyway, whatever. So fine. I decided to download all the apps, and I toggle around and I mess around in all the apps. iPhone itahobora, because of the fact that you have to, even things that you've already sort of kind of downloaded off from using internet will insist on you having internet over and over and over again, whereas with Android it sort of remembers that you had internet, and so you are able to continue to function without internet. And this room is quite far away from the internet, so that's the one downside of the Apple device. But you see, that downside made me discover something. The downside of the fact that if I'm not connected to Wi-Fi, certain of my features are absent. I can't apply them. It caused a glitch in the system that made me bust these buggers. Alright, so listen, y'all. CapCut, I downloaded it. Beauty Plus download. YouCam Makeup, I downloaded it. I realized that the YouCam Makeup on Android, no, not on Android, sorry, on iOS is perfect. Like, the makeup does not fall off. It's done very well. The one here, they incentivize people to buy it. The one on Android, they incentivize people to buy YouCam Perfect Makeup Video Editor by making their makeup app so lackluster that if you're going to get perfect makeup, you're going to have to buy the Android version. But the Android version does not have all the other AI effects. So the one on Apple has all the AI effects, meaning there is an incentive for you to, albeit having the features, to have perfect makeup applied on you using the recorder for free within 3-minute little snippets of recording, and a small little watermark that's over there that I probably covered with something on my CapCut PC application. Yeah, albeit having all that, you still have all these other all these other features on their AI enhanced application, because you can get, but for a fee, you can animate, you get cartoons, you get this, that. Basically, you have so many more features on the application that is on the Apple Store. So therefore, it's okay for you to have really perfect makeup that does not fly around and move nasty when you move around. Even the eyebrows are just so much better. They just stick there. Okay? Yeah, type establishment thing. So yeah, I'm really loving this, but my iPhone is glitchy and twitchy, so it's unlikely that I'm going to keep recording videos from here because it's so distressing. Alright? But anyway, whatever. So for those of you that did not know, if at all you're a content creator that is pedantic about aesthetics and want to apply makeup, get an iPhone. They've got better quality applications on their app stores, on iOS, on the App Store, Apple, because I don't know, for whatever reason they just they don't have respect or adoration for Android users. Like, the quality of the applications on iOS is literally 10 up on the quality of the applications on the Android store, on the Play Store. Like, I kid you not, that's a thing. I discovered that. You go test it yourself. All right, yeah, you go test it yourself. Cool. Very beans and bananas. And now basically I've got an ability to record makeup videos that aren't falling off for free, but I won't, because I have already bought the app, so it is what it is. And on top of that, my phone here glitches, so we're not going to do that. I believe I repeated myself, but it's important for me to keep on reiterating, because after all, I said the other day I am a teacher. Right, cool beans and bananas. Yeah. iPhone, CapCut, that thing. I'm telling you the differences between YouCam iPhone and YouCam Google Play, because there are no differences on CapCut iPhone and on CapCut Google Play. There are no differences. And I know that there are no differences because I first used CapCut without it. So while YouCam Makeup is superior on the Apple Store than on the Google Play Store, CapCut is uniform. That was important to highlight that, so that people don't come at me and say that no, the differences is because, like, Apple clients get treated differently from Google Play clients. There are no differences, and you can vouch for me if you use CapCut on your iOS device. What they have awarded thingy-mabobbies there, users there, is exactly the same. So basically CapCut is impartial between iPhone and iOS. Sorry, iPhone and Android. In a way that UCam isn't impartial. UCam is deliberately going out of their way to tarnish the user experience on their UCam makeup application, video recorder, on Apple devices, so as to incentivize them to buy the makeup app. But there is no need to do that on iOS because of the fact that their app is so superior in comparison. Their makeup editor, video editor app is so superior. So superior that it's worth the while to invest in it while there is a makeup recorder that got these things going down. So if you've got both operating systems, my advice to you would be, I'm sorry, at the expense of UCam Perfect, to record your videos, to get perfect makeup videos on UCam Perfect, if you are okay to record videos with 3-minute intervals and with a watermark there somewhere, and then edit them on their UCam AI Enhance. It's still worth it. Their app is still worth it, but it's not worth it if all you want is makeup. If all you want is makeup, get an iPhone. Then you're good. You're set free. You have all different kinds of looks and the makeup doesn't fall off. The only setback is that you have to keep on pressing record after every 3 minutes, which is okay for me. I would imagine that if your iPhone is more advanced, you're not going to have the lags that I've got, right? Mine is old and that's why I've got these lags. And also, it's easy to remove a watermark. It's just so easy to hide it or something, or you can large up your screen to take it out, which will reduce the quality of a video, but whatever. Okay. Those are the differences. Now with CapCut, there is no difference. Literally, the user experience is uniform across iOS and Android. It's uniform. The user experience is uniform, and I know this because the first time that I logged on, the first time that I downloaded CapCut on my device, I downloaded it. What do you call this? When I went into the application, it asked me for my, what do you call this thing? When I downloaded the application, when I opened the application after downloading it, it asked me to log in with my credentials, log in with Google, log in with Apple, you know, that whole thing, right? And I decided to log in with it because I was logged in on my Android. I can show you the proof, but I'm going to show you the proof later. I'm logged in on my, because I'm going to actually record the screens to show you what I'm talking about. I am logged into CapCut with my email address, and I will show you later, right? So I decided to log in again with this email address because I'm already logged in somewhere else. I'm logged in, right, on another phone. And I go in the app to try and prove that they sabotaged me. But I logged in with my email address. And I was like, oh, no, it's everybody. I literally said to myself, it's everybody. I said to myself that every single body in these streets of Johannesburg and Earth in totality that use the CapCut application has had all these features go pro on them overnight, because when I went inside the app, everything was pro, that was made pro. But when I went, however, because remember, in order for them to afflict the doll, to make sure that I can't access the doll, they need to get into my phone. So essentially they wormed my phone, they bugged my phone. I don't know, I might sound paranoid, but understand, listen to this, I have proof. I go in a roll to try and apply the doll, and on my iPhone it appears. On my iPhone the doll applies, and I'm like, oh, so maybe that means I don't have to buy UCam Perfect for the cartoon. I can use my iPhone to export my doll and stay with that and save money, because I've got a makeup app somewhere else. No need to be redundant, right? The only reason that I wanted to buy UCam makeup was in order for me to get the AI feature of making a doll or cartoon. So for the sake of my animated portion of the ministry, tell myself that maybe I'll continue to use CapCut, but on my iPhone. Yeah, well, I tried on that doll to add makeup on the doll, and my phone shut on me. It closed on me. I'm actually thinking, oh no, maybe my iPhone is old. The moment I would try and add makeup on the doll, and I add makeup on my doll, right, the app closes. Okay, I then go in and I try to export the doll as it is without makeup, telling myself I'll add makeup on PC on the doll, and the app starts out, it doesn't start out, but it literally refuses to export. And I tried to export it so many times that last time it said that in order for me to